Welcome to the Tile Happy Hour. Today we are here live and in person at Coverings 2025 in the beautiful Orlando, Florida. John, I'm so excited to be here. I'm excited to be with you doing the podcast for all of our tile and stone friends and family that we've made over the years. And yes, John, I know you've been to every covering, so let's just get past it.
Yes, 35 coverings in a row, have not missed one, and it's been amazing. Love it here. This is kind of home base for coverings, right?
Absolutely,
This is the
yeah.
Orange County Convention Center is really one of just a few in the world that can hold this size of an event, but this is really home base for coverings. So welcome to all the people in the audience, and welcome to our live broadcast.
Yeah. So if you're watching online, you can find it at Covering Show, hashtag Covering Show, coverings.com, wherever. I mean, it's there. John, I heard, and you correct me if I'm wrong, there's 1,100 exhibitors here from 40 countries?
Yeah, so over 1,100 exhibitors. It's usually averages around 1,000 plus, so this year is 1,100. A big rebound from the whole COVID situation, and over 40 countries. So even though it's a show here in America, it is the largest tile and stone show in North America. And we're glad to be a part of it. We're glad to be invited to the podcast studio here. This is
Absolutely. This is kind of our where we got the reason we started the podcast. We had dreams and aspirations of being part of the Coverings program, and look, we made it, John.
We made it.
We're part of the continuing education
Exactly.
that they provide here.
Yeah, there's a lot of sessions here. There's a lot of educational seminars. We happen to be right across from the conference sessions, and they are full, they're packed. So it's not just coming here and seeing new product. It's not just coming here and meeting people that you know. It is about bettering yourself, becoming a better person at what you do, and learning from your peers and learning from other people in the industry.
And we'll get to our guests in a minute, but we got a great story about a 17-year-old coming to join the tile and stone family. But last year we were in Atlanta.
Yes.
Next year we're in Las Vegas.
That's correct.
But right now we're in Orlando, Florida.
We'll be back here in 2027 in Orlando. So we'll be back, and we keep rotating out. Sometimes Chicago, sometimes Vegas, sometimes Atlanta, mostly in Orlando. And I love it here.
Orlando's great. It fits in a great big room. But that's not why you're here. You're not here to hear us talk about what Covering's about. You're here to talk about social media. And John and I are not experts by any means of the situation. And I told John today, I said, before the podcast is over, all of our data will have changed.
Right.
But we're going to talk a little bit about that today and how it affects the tile and stone industry, how we're going to use it. But first, I want, let's introduce our guest.
Yeah. So we're going to introduce Jeremy Sachs. And Jeremy has been in the industry for some time and has a great amount of knowledge, and he's really in a role now as the Deputy Director of NTC.
Right. I mean, he's got a break.
NTCA. So
no break, that's for sure. I can tell you that much. Thank you.
Yeah, so Jeremy, tell us about NTCA. First, what does it stand for? Sure. And tell us more about the industry and what led you into this role.
Well, sure, absolutely. I appreciate being here. Thank you so much, Craig and John. The NTCA, the National Tile Contractors Association, we were founded in 1947. We are the largest tile trade association in the world. We have almost approximately 2,000 members, many different programs. One of the programs that are under me that I'm very happy to promote is our 5-star contractor program, which is an elite contractor program around the country. Currently have about 56 contractors that are either residential, commercial, or large commercial contractors, and hope to grow that, double it up to 112 in the next 3 years. But we also have an amazing team internally. That's really where it starts, and the culture of the NTCA is really focused on being a member-first organization and being servant leaders to our members throughout the industry and providing them some amazing benefits, shared services to help their businesses grow, and really just focus on the tile contractor. And we are an educational organization, nonprofit, and so we will have about 308 training events throughout the United States. We have a team of 9 that are on the road 33 weeks a year.
Shout out to Kate, who did our training not too long ago.
Kate is awesome. I was happy to be at that training too. And these trainers live and breathe tile, live and breathe education. So our goal and our mission is to promote tile, to advocate for the tile contractor and the tile industry, tile distributors and manufacturers.
So before Jeremy is introduced, I'm sorry, Marcus is introduced.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about NTCA. So you have contractors that are part of the organization, but I would assume manufacturers and distributors want to be part of that also.
Yeah, absolutely. We have manufacturers and distributors, they're sponsors, and we host our training at their locations. So we take all of our training on the road. I love that because tile contractors are busy running their crews and running their businesses, so we make it very easy to come to them. And then our staff is there to assist our almost 2,000 members, like I said, and to be servant leaders to the industry and to them.
A great example of that is our other guest, which is Marcus, who was at our NTCA training in Burlington that we did, and we were glad to have you. Marcus, you are the technical account manager, and I don't know that anybody knows your title because they just know you as Marcus and Blanke Cares. So tell us about your role and what you do for Blanke and how you serve the industry.
So my role for Blanke, I'm the head of technical department, so technical service. I'm flying around teaching people, training people. So most of that, yes, I had the pleasure to be with you guys at the NTC training, seeing Katie working her butt off. I mean, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And try to giving back and helping the contractors where we can. It's all what we're trying to do. Being there, being part of it.
Well, you do a great job of that, and we're talking about social media. And when John and I started exploring this, we actually talked about this last year, but it changes so much. We figured it's worth revisiting, and you're one of the ones I always think about because you have a forward profile. And let's talk about platforms a little bit. I did some data research, and John says his research is better than mine, but I have the iPad, so I have my list of the top 5 tile and stone platforms that are using social media. And I want to get your ideas of what you think. So in order of how it gave it to us was number 1 was Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, Houzz, and YouTube. That was what kind of was sput out. That's, I don't know the word. But, I thought there were a few things missing from that list. So tell me what you think about the platforms and how they're used industry specific.
I mean, there's some lot of platforms these days. It's not only like in the past we had just Facebook and we have the groups. I mean, that's fantastic. People can connect, they can post about the pictures and sharing the knowledge. But it's again, we have right now, I would say Instagram and TikTok is number 1. I mean, TikTok.
Yeah, I'm surprised TikTok was not on that list.
That's what John said. And that's why John said
Who pulled that list?
It was me, and that's why John said my data was flawed. And
I went to Copilot and asked my AI assistant, and Instagram was up there, but TikTok was somewhere in that top 5, and I'm surprised that it didn't show up there at all.
Craig, where'd you pull your list from?
Grok.
That's brand new.
Yeah. So I mean, it says, who knows? But as I said to start this conversation, it's going to change before it's over. I mean, I noticed that my favorite platform, MySpace, wasn't on there. You know, I don't know why anybody's not following me on MySpace.
That still exists? I don't know.
I don't know. But the data, it was, and we'll talk a little bit more about it, but I was looking at Instagram has 1 billion engagements a month. And that's worldwide. And to think about that and think about how that fits in, and it said Facebook ads, which I'm assuming that we as a company, Tilebar, has Facebook ads, 2.9 billion engagements. So that's clicks, touches a month.
It'd be interesting to see if that data, when you post on Facebook or do an ad, usually it pulls through to Instagram.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how
Is there some doubled up? Maybe.
A little double dip in those numbers.
Yeah.
Well, does NTCA take advantage of Instagram or any of these platforms? And how do y'all do it, and where have you seen success?
Yeah, absolutely. We take advantage of everything you just mentioned. I would say Facebook is really top on the list.
Really?
But we also have an intranet which is not, I know, what part of your list, but that's part of the member engagement, to get members engaged, because we are so influx with social media, and we're going to continue to be influx with social media, but now we're also bridging it internally. But I mean, I got to tell you, I don't even use some of that. So what you pointed out, Craig and John, is I need to get my act together on a couple of those items. But we are very involved. We have Angie on our team now, and she kind of leads up the posting of social media, and that's really a point that you're bringing up on this podcast, is it's taking social media to the next level. And at the NTCA, we've got somebody on staff that's handling social media for us that never has done that. So
we also just revamped, Tilebar just revamped our entire social media team.
Yeah, we really use it to a fullest when we say we Tilebar. And on NTCA, you talked about the contractors using the Facebook. I do feel a lot of, especially the bucket and trowel guys, I feel a lot of these guys have their own personal Facebook page, like most people do. And they kind of expand their business through their contacts, friends and family. So I think it's a natural thing to use. They're not necessarily jumping into a new platform like LinkedIn, where maybe they're not on initially. But they're on Facebook initially, and then they post maybe a project that they did, and then they get a sort of a reaction to it. And they find that Facebook becomes, and I found this with clients in my previous businesses, where they would use Facebook for the engagement, but also to build community. And I think that's where, because there's two parts of social media, and I think I could split it up into two. One would be the community part, and the other would be, direct marketing, direct sales. And I know that, Marcus, you've been building a really good rapport. You're a rock star. People are following you.
So
Thank you.
good.
Yeah.
Rock star.
No, I really appreciate what you do, and I appreciate that you are engaging with people on a personal level, but everyone wants to do business with somebody they like, right? So you're one of a handful of people in your industry that produce a product. You're not the only one. But when people look at the products, they also want to look at who's behind it. They want to see what's your magic
personality.
sauce. Yeah, the personality. What's your approach to that?
My fifth sense to it is, they want to have a person they can talk to. I mean, every industry or manufacturer has their own person, right?
Right.
Like me now with Blanky, right? We have someone else with different companies, and I mean, they're connecting with them. It's like a family, and it's hard to explain. I know, hey, this person, wow, you have the face, you are with this company, they know if there's something, they're coming to you. They're coming directly to you,
Right.
and they feel like, you're part of it. And that's great. I mean, I just came here to coverings, and my wife was posting about our third child, and I had no idea she tagged me into it. All of a sudden, I see everyone. It's like, hey, congratulations. I was
That's
like,
amazing.
what? And
You didn't even know you were having a
I
third
had no
child.
idea. I had no idea. She tagged me into the post, and it's like all of a sudden, it's like in one day I got so many, hey, congratulations. I was like, wow, I was.
Tell me about the idea of the Blanky Cares campaign. That was kind of the first thing that I noticed about you. And how important is it to carry a consistent theme through your posts and your social media?
It's not a theme. It's we care. That's the thing, How we came up, pretty simple. We worked at the booth. We looked for a hashtag, and we wanted to also give the message out that we are there for you,
Yeah.
And seen through the videos I got from Germany and Mr. Peter Blanky, and in the catalog there was this translated, "We care for the customer." So it's like, you know what? Blanky Cares. Blanky Cares was born, and it's like, it was. I mean, now you can see Coverings Cares or Mape Cares. I mean, it's blown up.
Are you getting a kickback from any of them?
I mean, yes. I mean, the first thing was Blanky Cares, right?
Yeah.
We were the OG, but no. I mean, it's good. I mean, we don't want to do it as a promotion. We really there.
Yeah.
We helping people where we can, and people know they can.
And posting it, and which I think is critical to the growth of. And what John just mentioned was the community building. When you post Blanky Cares, you're putting people in a group and I wrote this down in online touches, which is what we're doing. Whether it's through Facebook, whether it's through YouTube, our online touches can't replace the face-to-face, but they reinforce it. So that's how I got to know you and Marcus so well, is we met via, and his name just let Vision Tile and Stone. Nathan was here earlier, and he's in the audience somewhere. But he and I met via Instagram, and we've never met face to face until today. And we've had phone calls via Instagram. And
I was taken back by that. So we were prepping this earlier in the press room, and he walked in, and I saw him, and I said, "Hey, like a good friend, what's up?" And he says, "Finally, good to finally meet you in person." I'm like, "We didn't meet in person." Now he was on our show, we've talked, and I've followed him, and he's followed us. And there is this blur, good or bad, in life, where you don't know if you met somebody in person. Have you come across that?
Literally last week in San Diego, but it's a little slightly embarrassing because it was one of my employees. And I mean, I've only been with the NTCA for like 6-7 months, right?
Okay.
But one of my staff, you know, I've been in the industry for 26 years,
Right.
so I thought that we maybe met along the way. But with all the virtual meetings and FaceTiming and everything we do in the business, we've kind of both were like, have we met before? So it's crazy.
We have that all the time when we have our company, our sales summit.
You're a big
There's
company.
always somebody there that goes, "Oh, you're from the Teams call, and you're the tile nerd."
It's crazy.
Do you find this place in NTCA to help your members with? I know you help them with a lot of things, but do you feel social media or promoting themselves would be something on the, or maybe it's something on the table already?
100,000%. Actually, that is a great segue because I wanted to, as I look in the audience and see all the contractors and everybody in the industry, from a tile contractor perspective, how do you get people from your perspective? You guys are brilliant. You've gotten into the social media and podcasting, but how have you done that? And I wanted to learn from you because,
I've got some statistics for you.
Yeah, let's hear them.
Because I was thinking about this. You've got registration and stuff, and that's kind of via your, you say maybe intranet or internet. And through the research that I did, 82% of your engagement comes from a picture or a video.
Yeah.
If you're just doing posts, and this is a little point for everybody out there, if you're just doing a word post, "I tiled a great job today," that's not gonna perform as well as you doing a video segment of it or you doing a picture of it. So 82% of that. So I would say that would be something that NTCA could, take
Leverage,
pictures from your all your members,
All the trades,
and
members
just start that cycle, that carousel of videos.
Well, when we're building community and we're talking about all these relationships that you're developing, but let's get down to business, return on investment. Marcus, your company is amazing, and it's been really, really nice working with you. And we talked about people want to do business with people they know. Also, we know you have people's back. So if there's an issue with a project, there's an issue with a product, someone cares. And they really are going to come back and work with you, and that's super, super important. But let's talk about business. I mean, do you feel
Making money? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, this is exactly my point. Okay. Do you feel like it could actually help your bottom line to maybe obtain a new client, a new distributor, somebody who wants to request your product? What are your thoughts on that?
I can tell you about it. We actually had a vendor here, someone who was really interested in our product. He did a research. I was out by him. I explained everything. He tested me, if I know my stuff. He came to the trade show. He had someone else with him and a technical guy with him to ask again all different questions. And I hope I answered all what I can. I mean, that's what you can do. I mean, people see it. Let me say it this way: if you know your stuff, what you do, and you normal, or how you say that, you don't try to play something. People can see it. I mean,
genuine.
Yeah,
Be genuine.
exactly.
Yeah.
Then I think that's not a problem.
Yeah, and I think the statistics show if your brand makes a consistent investment, whether that's time or money, so you're doing it internally or you're hiring another person, on average they're getting back 119%.
Oh, really?
On that. So obviously every industry is different, and it comes down to social media is a tricky thing, and we've seen that through our podcast. It goes up and down, and I've been complaining about YouTube lately, how they changed the algorithm on me, and I've seen things happen. But if you have a consistent plan and a consistent brand identity that you're pushing, Blanqui Cares or education through the NTCA, you will see returns on that.
Well, and I can speak to that because you can tell the members that are engaged on social media through our organization are wildly successful the more they're engaging in social media and they're posting pictures of their projects or videos. You can tell. So it works.
Years ago, you need a marketing budget. And a lot of these people, some people do have marketing budget, but if you're doing social media, it takes time. You may need some equipment. You really don't need much more than your iPhone, right? Yeah. Now you have AI can help you with scripts. A lot of these contractors I've serviced contractors for decades. They're obviously good at their trade. Some are good at business, some are not, right? Some are good at, social. Some aren't the guys who are going to go out to a networking event and network, and they may not be social. Some other guys may be. But your whole marketing budget could be social media solely. And I find that the guys that do that, and we see some of the people that we call them influencers, we met some of them today, that are just average guys who took the social media to the next level and leveraged it, and also expanding their market if they want, as far as territory. They can even go to other territories.
Yeah, John, you hit the nail on the head. That's what I was thinking, is scaling their business.
Yeah.
And you know what it takes? It takes an investment of time.
Yeah.
That's it. Take that time to take that picture. And I want to talk about Marcus, because when we were in the Tile Bar workshop, right, up in Jersey, Burlington, Jersey, I saw this guy. He's taking pictures and he's taking videos, and I'm thinking in my head, what is he doing? And then a week later, after the event, he sends me this amazing video.
Yeah, it's actually good.
I called you, right? We talked on the phone.
Of course.
And I'm like, this is amazing. Like, how did you do this? And it took a little time.
Yeah.
Right.
But what his output and then the scalability, to your point, John, that you're saying, to take that as a tile contractor, as an industry professional, a manufacturer, distributor, just take the time.
Well,
and
I
can scale it.
I texted my wife last night at dinner with Marcus and some other people, and Sal de Blasi, who was out there in the audience. He's like the OG of YouTube how-to videos, and so I sent my wife. I said, I'm having dinner with Sal, and she's like, who? Of course, she did. And I sent him this picture. Oh, that guy, because for years he's posted how-to videos, and I'd love to ask him offline, how did that increase his business? And it had to have.
Absolutely.
I mean, Sal de Blasi is, everybody knows him.
Yeah.
It's YouTube. Everybody had a question. Oh, that's Sal. That's Sal, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he's right over there.
Yeah, of course. And you have a video, but what I really appreciate with Sal is, however he posts it, whatever he does, it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
But his recognition in the industry is like, if Sal does it, he is true, he say how it is. And everybody believes, and they believe him.
Yeah, I think you said one thing that a lot of people, I do a lot of research on this because I want to be the best at it I can. A lot of people get hung up on equipment and do I have the right mic? Do I have the right camera? And those things are good, but nothing beats the content and the and being genuine. That will go a long way of getting you an audience and creating that community that you want. One thing I was thinking about when I was thinking about NTCA is your platform online is what it is. I know you probably would agree. It probably could use some updates.
Oh, yeah, it will be. It'll be getting updates.
And I was surprised to see that 90% of social media is consumed on this right here.
On the mobile.
Amazing.
On a mobile phone.
Amazing.
Not 90.
90%. That surprised me. And I'm taking a guess here. I didn't ask AI for this. I would bet that probably 40 to 60% is created on this.
Marcus did in Jersey.
Marcus,
Yeah,
right?
in
Right.
Jersey. I mean, I have a really nice camera and nice lenses. And I was, yesterday we were walking the show and I had my camera and my lenses and I'm like, it's too heavy. Why do I need that when I have this who can do 4K video? So that's one of the things out there as we kind of transition into how to improve your social media if you're a tile and stone industry person. What would be some quick tips as we expand on that?
Well, I just want to comment on the equipment. It kind of reminds me of the time I wanted to start working out. You start focusing on the equipment, getting the right shoes, just freaking get down and do some push-ups, So it's on that order as well. When we started this podcast, it was similar to that. Because how this podcast started was Craig and I being in the same work for the same company, but work in different states. We would talk to each other out of necessity, whatever the topic may be. And then our conversation would continue for another half hour or 45 minutes. I was like, Craig, tell me about this anti-coupler. Like, what do you know? Like, and he would ask me a question about a product. So we would just have this conversation. And we were just like, this should be a podcast. Let's just talk about it. And that's how this podcast, speaking of podcasts, this is the Tile Happy Hour.
Yeah.
We do broadcast every week live. And
Most all social platforms, our top 5, except for Pinterest.
Pinterest, we're not on.
We're not on
I would
Pinterest.
say Instagram, LinkedIn.
And YouTube are
And
probably our
YouTube
biggest.
are really, we get a lot of interactions. And so we're talking about the equipment. If you really just, like Nathan, who we're talking now, he would take pictures, a video of him like really super up close, and you see the trowel lines, like this like little detail. And it's just somehow on your phone, it looks really interesting. It's not just here, take a look at this room. He's like,
I
little
think
detail.
John, you hit a little something there, and we can expound on that. Is tile setters' brains, I think, are artists. Tile is an art, and I think that can easily transform into, okay, if I do this really cool, it'll look really cool online. So I don't know that those lines probably blur together a lot. I mean, we'll have to ask Nathan to comment on that, but being that and knowing that the video and the pictures are important to building that community and getting those questions. I mean, we get them all the time. I answered somebody this morning that sent a question into the Tile Happy Hour hotline, about sealers, because we've talked about sealers so much. What's your thoughts on that, of being an artist with a trowel and an artist with an iPhone?
Be authentic, I would say. Yes, I was looking into it in the beginning too, and it's like, oh yeah, I need a super camera and all that, microphones and lenses and anything, but like you mentioned, we on the road, right?
Yeah.
And like I did yesterday from the show, you guys seen, I don't know if you guys seen the pictures and the videos already.
They're
They're
great.
out in the morning
Yeah.
at 8 a.m. There's no a lot of time you have.
Right.
Make it authentic, get it out as the guys who doesn't made it to the show see it from their own eyes.
Yeah.
That's, I think, the most views and all that is if you're authentic, and it's like not a staged big studio and anything. I think that's the goal, and being fast with the videos and being fast with the pictures. I mean, that takes a lot of time. Let me tell you that.
Well, you have intention. So both of you were at the same event in Burlington, New Jersey. One of you was taking pictures of videos, knowing what you wanted to do with it, and Jeremy was just hanging out, working, but he wasn't thinking, right? You weren't thinking about putting the product out, right?
Well,
You
so
weren't?
I did it in a different way, right? I was taking pictures and I was taking videos and I was sending it to our social media team and letting them do it. So I was kind of that conduit, right?
Yeah.
So I just took it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
And doesn't mean I was right or wrong, but to your point earlier, John, just get on the train. So I'm glad that at least I had the forethought to take those pictures, to take those videos so we could leverage that event.
There's so many times I've gotten back to the hotel or back to my office and been like,
Your suite?
I forgot. I forgot. I should have videoed that. I should have.
Yep.
And then
I have this rule. Sometimes you want to take a picture and if it's just other people in this room and they're not into social media or into photography, it feels a little weird sometimes,
Yes.
and comfortable. The first time you took a selfie, right? That was weird, right? Like you're taking a picture of yourself and like Sebastian Maniscalco. You have no friends that can take a picture of you. It's just you, right? So I get that, but I never I guess my new rule is if I feel I should take a picture of something, do it, because later on you do realize
There's
that
no
was
harm in it.
important.
I mean, yeah.
I'm wondering, Jeremy, if there is a place, and you actually tapped on it before you mentioned it. I was thinking of this. What if NTCA had some sort of social media expert, not who works with, maybe somebody, an outside person, where a contractor who is good at what he does, he's an artist, he can take pictures of projects, and his skill just stops there. And he could send in pictures to this third party, and that person would charge them, but not incredible amount of money. And it could be like a program, say, hey, take pictures of your jobs, we'll create a video for you. And I'm not saying the organization itself, but you find somebody who's in social media, and then that guy would see, or gal would see this, wow, amazing video. And they'll get it back to them, and you could post it, and they'll see the results, and maybe they'll decide to work on their own.
I think it's a fascinating concept, and we at the NTCA are always looking for new ways to drive membership engagement, new programs to help people's businesses succeed and scale. So I love that thought process.
I think that's why I just bring Marcus with me everywhere I go. That way.
Look, so I was just hanging out with a bunch of buddies, and one buddy out of the whole group, for whatever reason, he's on a flip phone still. I mean, literally. So some
There's always one.
There's always one. So, and that's fine. He's probably living a better life than me because I'm scrolling and reading and looking down at my phone. So I kind of envy being almost off the grid to some degree. But there are guys out there that are great at what they do. They're phenomenal. They're well respected, and their skill stops at taking pictures. And even creative-wise, they wouldn't know what to start with, what to end with.
Well, that kind of moves into the takeaway. And at the Tile Happy Hour, we always want to give you something. So not that we're experts on tile and stone, and we know about social media. So we want to talk about some takeaways that you can do with your company, or if you're by yourself, whatever, that you can increase your engagement. And I've got some statistics here, but just off the top of your head, Marcus, what do you think is maybe a couple of rules that you would tell somebody that's not engaged in social media right now to increase their touches?
One word. Just do it.
I don't think that's one word. He's from Germany.
It's one sentence.
Wait,
It's one sentence.
Right. Is there a German word that's one word?
I would say start. So start.
You want to do, just do it.
Start where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And be authentic. I mean, I'm authentic. Or you like me or you don't like me. So when
Do we have to answer that now?
Tell me that. I mean, people seen when people running around with the cell phones, right, and taking pictures like, hey, just give me a smile, right, in this moment. Like, oh, this guy again with his camera, right? Oh, you ending up by him on the social media and everything. I mean, they know you. But it's, again, be authentic. Just do it.
And I guarantee you those people that are like, they appreciate it when they see it later on social media, and they're like, man, I was just in that really cool video that Marcus made.
Yeah, it's true.
So be authentic. What's one rule, Jeremy, you think that as somebody that's not doing it yet?
Yeah, I mean, I would say basically the same thing Marcus said. You just got to start. You just got to, the only way to go is up, right? So, we talk a lot about in the organization, right? Be comfortable feeling uncomfortable. Right. It's okay to feel uncomfortable, right? But, just start.
Well, here's the bottom line. It's about having passion for something. I'm sure if you went to an event that was not in our industry, you'd have zero ambition to take pictures and create a video and post it out there, even if you were forced to be in that industry.
Yeah. Just depending on which event.
Okay, exactly. So if you have passion about something, that being authentic, so let's narrow it down. Start. Have passion about something, and that's probably why you're listening to the show. You have passion about your industry or about social media, and actually just start, be authentic. And we talked about a lot of platforms. I think one of the things I would like to contribute is to say, don't try to do it all. Don't try to be on
agreed.
every platform. Pick one maybe that you're already on, try to exploit that, maybe two, and just try it out. I know they're always adding. I know Instagram just added some sort of editing thing that they sent me where it's a new program you can edit on the app. I haven't tried it yet. So there's just so many things going on that you can do, but just start with one for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and I think we also said earlier, keep it simple. Like you can use your iPhone, right?
Yeah,
so you don't have to go
absolutely.
invest a bunch of money and a bunch of equipment. Start simple.
And it's the money, but it's also the time. So I feel once you're using
Yep.
multiple devices, now you have to download it and you have to cut it and splice. The iPhone is all I know, and the iPhone is just got so
We
many
know that's
functions
all
to
you
it.
know.
Yeah, that's
we
all
would
I
have
know.
twice as many episodes if John didn't call me up and say, "How do I hook my mic up again?"
Exactly, always a technical issue. So Craig, what about your takeaways?
All those things first that you just said, and then the next is consistency.
Okay.
Statistics show consistency grows an audience. You can't get frustrated posting once a week for 6 months and like, why is nobody watching? What I was reading this morning is that brands that are successful post 16 times a week, and that could be a variety of different things, but they see 3.5 times more growth than those who don't post that much. So consistency is key.
16 times. If I would post 16 times on Facebook, put it in a story, I think I would lose all my followers.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point.
I think
Maybe
you
there's a
need to-
tolerance for it.
Well, and I think you need to know maybe what to post. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a post, a story, different things. Getting that engagement out there in different forms.
But then you're doing it because you have to. It has to show that you do it because you like it.
Yeah.
It's like if you do it already, and the guys out there, I mean,
Yeah.
come on, the Thai industry, right? Everybody is brutal out there.
Yeah.
They smack
Well, you
it.
post a lot more about how to do and what to do. See,
Mixed. Mixed.
mixed. What I've once I read that statistic, I started doing is I have my phone with me everywhere I go, and anytime I go anywhere, there's tile. I take a picture of the tile, I make a simple comment, and I post it on my Instagram story. I do that probably 3 or 4 times a day, almost every day of the week, which adds up to that
Yeah.
16 posts. And that's a very unintrusive post. It's not saying your tile is going to fail.
Well, it's trial and error.
Yes.
And so one of the things to what Craig just said was, if I'm out on my phone, I'll see a tile in a public bathroom that's like, there's a round pipe and someone cut like a 3-inch square around it, and you like take a picture of it and you post, nailed it, right? Obviously not an NTCA member. These people are not members of NTCA.
Absolutely. But they should join
to
today.
learn how to do that. So even those little things, those little content, it's not that invasive if you do a lot, because if people just see it, it's not like it's bothering them.
Right.
But I really feel it's trial and error.
Yeah.
If you could only do one a week, you do one a week. If you can do 16, you do 16, and figure out what works for you and for your company. And it probably will evolve.
Brand recognition is one of the, I'm not a marketing person, I'm just a dumb contractor. But brand recognition is one of those things, I think in parenting they say your kids don't hear it the first 3 times you tell them something.
Yeah.
So brand recognition is also
What'd you say?
like that. Exactly.
Okay.
My mom still says you talk too much on our podcast, John.
Yeah, she's my #1 fan out there. Thank you.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Craig.
So a couple of tips if you do want to expand what you're doing, get a software that helps you. I use a software called Metricool, and so what you can do is you can make one post, or you can hire somebody to make that. We'll talk about that in a second. And you can put it in your app and schedule 2 weeks worth of posts through one 1-hour session. So maybe, and Fridays is normally when I spend some time on this. I take an hour a week and I will plan the next 2 weeks of posts, whether that's a video, just an image, anything like that. And I'll post those, and then I don't have to think about it. And my 16 posts that are annoying Marcus are already set to go
Come on.
before I go to bed.
Oh, that's why you don't answering when I'm texting you back. I
Yeah,
understand,
yeah.
Because it's all automated.
Hey, automate the easy,
That's brilliant. That's
And-
brilliant. I never heard of that software.
Yeah,
What's
there's
it called again?
Metricool is
Just
one
for
of
the
them that I
audience
use.
out here.
Yeah, and there's a couple of other ones, but it makes it so easy to where you can just automate those posts.
You could schedule it.
And one of the other things that, a lot of us are busy, and if you don't have time to do that, Fiverr and Upwork, you can get somebody overseas to do this off your time schedule. A lot of times they're working when you're sleeping, and they'll have a post ready for you the next day, and you do that.
I found that pretty interesting. I've worked with someone once that was not in our time zone, and you would feed something at 10 o'clock at night, and next thing you know, you wake up, it's there, and it cuts the process in half time-wise.
Yeah.
So that's pretty interesting, to use different resources that are available to you. Keep the devices simple, start simple, use whatever programs you have, typically within the phones, or if you want to get more involved, get editing software, but not necessary. This has been amazing. I really enjoy talking about social media.
I love it.
Yeah.
What do we, John and team, what do we think is going to change?
I was just thinking like that. What's the future, right?
Yeah.
What will change?
Well-
You guys are closer to it, so what do you guys think?
I mean, AI is going to be,
Yeah.
I mean, they're saying the AI revolution is going to be as big as the internet was.
Yeah, I believe. But see, that's what scares me, because we touched a lot about authenticity, right?
Yeah.
Being genuine, and then you throw AI into it, and then are we gonna lose?
Yeah, yes. Yes,
the
we
genuine aspect.
are. It's going to be a trade-off again. And I think using AI for conversations or for posts, sometimes it could be obvious to people that they're using it, sometimes not. It used to be maybe weird to use spell check, right? You're using spell check, now it's just normal, right?
Yeah.
So maybe people throw things into AI. And before we talked about that idea where a contractor could perhaps send into a third party, hey, I took these 10 pictures of the job site, and someone creates
right.
something. Maybe it's an AI kind of component where they can throw it to AI and they can create a little post for them, but somehow to guide them. I really think that things will change. I think the AI has to drive, because it's driving everything.
I agree. Yeah, AI is big. I mean, we're using it on the daily. I know in corporate they use it, but I still think, just as we use the internet as a tool, using AI as a tool and being authentic with it, and not just create this for me, rather than saying I created this, help me make it better.
Yep. Oh yeah, I use AI a lot. I'm a big fan of it, but it's only gets you halfway there.
Yeah.
You've gotta put in the effort and make it your own. Getting back to the genuine aspect, right?
Yeah.
So,
Can one AI tell if AI was used in something else you created? Like
It's
AI
like a
detector.
double AI.
AI detector.
I
I've had someone communicate with me, and it was a good conversation back and forth by text for some time, and I was suspecting AI, and I'm like, okay, that's all right, that's okay, but it was just a little too enthusiastic, and it was the
exclamation
it had like a
points.
beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yeah.
A lot of people I know don't know how to do that, so I was getting a little skeptical. But then I said, when I meet
Public
this
school
person,
education.
can they back? It's okay to use it if you could back it up in real life. Like if you could have a conversation,
I'll
back it up a little. It's
Yeah.
okay.
I'll say John calls me out a lot, because a lot of times I'll take our podcast and I'll have AI write the description.
Yeah.
Normally it's really time constraints and public school education. AI can write better than I can, and John was like, "Why did you say it like that?" I'm like, "I don't know, it just did." Correct it. But I think using it responsibly, it's going to be a huge time saver. Whether it's going to, I don't know that it's going to replace those artistic posts.
Well, I think what's going to happen is the platforms are going to, and they probably are to some degree now, the platforms will have AI engaged.
Yeah, and I'd like to make a point to the audience that when you're using AI in our industry, you have to be very cautious, because we have methods and standards, and AI isn't the author of those methods and standards, so you have to be very careful. And I realize you can pull from certain areas, but AI has a way of twisting things around. So be very cautious in using AI from a method standard standpoint. Continue to use that NTCA reference manual, and continue to use that TCNA handbook. for the
Because
true
you're right.
source of
If
data.
you don't know what you're reading and it spits something out,
It looks pretty.
it'll
like-
look
yeah.
official,
Right.
but
Gets you in trouble too.
But it could get
Yeah.
you in trouble.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts
My thoughts.
about the future?
I'm scared.
You're saying
I'm scared. I mean, AI makes me scared, to be honest. Do I want to upload my picture up there with my voice and be replaced by AI? No way.
yeah.
Do I see too much Terminator? Yes. No, I honestly-
Skynet.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to. I
Yeah.
mean,
Do
to
you
say
use
about
it at all, Marcus?
To be honest, I tried it here before, like picture-wise, to do it because I seen a comment that's like, "Oh yeah, Marcus will show up like Miss Doubtfire," and it's like, "Help is on the way, dear." And I posted, I put one picture of me, and
Yeah.
I said, "Hey, please have me at the booth with Mrs. Doubtfire." I seen the picture, and I was afraid because it doesn't look like me,
Yeah.
and it's like I don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
I'm doing my old ways, and
Yeah.
it's like. Maybe I'm gonna learn. Maybe it's gonna get more refined to it. I don't know.
I think it's only going to get better.
Yeah.
And from what I've read and hear, it is better than what we have right now. It's just on the back end, and they're refining it.
I was
So-
thinking of starting a postcard campaign. What do you think? You know, mailing postcards
Mailing
out.
postcards.
Yeah.
I'm
You
at
send postcards?
coverings. I'm at coverings. Come and visit me.
Come and visit.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, what is still working is email lists, and I think you guys probably
Yeah,
use
we
that a lot.
We do. We
But
do. We do.
It is effective.
Yeah, it is effective, and you know it's interesting you mentioned that, Craig, because I've done a lot of research in tried to custom craft messaging for email, and when you use AI to help you create that, and
Yeah.
you make it funny, you make it more engaging. We all used to get the email spam, right? Just
Yeah.
and you could tell, but
Right.
make it genuine, make it personable, you know.
Lighthearted is I use that all the
yeah,
time.
Yeah, and you'll have a better open rate, right, and
Yeah.
better engagement. But yeah, we use email a lot, absolutely.
Well, we're glad to be here at the Orange County Convention Center. This is
Absolutely.
Coverings 2025. Great audience.
Great conversation. Are we going to
conversation.
do? We're going to talk about social media next year too.
You know, every year we
tried to come up with something different. Then we're like,
Well, we did talk about the Italian industry.
That was the first time.
First
yeah, yeah.
episode.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think we will have to talk about because everything that Craig started off
Yeah.
this podcast, that everything we're talking about now is going to be outdated by next Friday.
Well, I think you should each do your research
Yeah.
and compare notes
Yes.
and see what comes up, and
This is
it'll
a good-
tell you what you're going to talk about, right?
is great.
I'll just put it in AI. Here's what we've talked about the last 3 years. What should I talk about
There
in
you go.
2026?
There you go.
That's a good
Well,
point.
John, it has been good to be here. Jeremy and Marcus, thank you for being a part of the. I know you guys are busy. You both have booths, and taking the time out means a lot to us.
Thank you for having me.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank
It's
you
my
for having
pleasure.
us.
It's a pleasure. Take care.
Thank you.
You didn't say your normal thing. You got to say.
Yes, it's true. Well, so this is John Tedisco, and I'd like to wish everybody peace, health, and happiness.
And thanks for watching. No matter where you're watching from, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, send us your questions. We answer and read them all. And don't forget, let's tile the world and keep learning together. And that's it.
All right, good job, guys.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Are you sure we're gonna sit next to you here, or will be?